Hey folks, I'm here with Pete from P.S.E. and he's going to tell us a little bit about the new X-Force Omen. Pete, can you give us some insight on this bow, axle to axle length, race height, speed, stuff to that line?
Yeah, glad to. The Omen bow, it's 5.5 inch brace height and 33.5 inch on the axle to axle. Super lightweight cams made out of 70-75 T6, so it's a lot stronger material. You can see we got very thin sections in the ribbing on the cams. Get the weight down the cams, increases the speed level. Lots of vibration damping. It's very soft on the feel. It's a whole new pocket system here where the limbs can't move any, so there's no shifting at all any direction. So we've redesigned the handle completely. You can see it's cut out deeper on this side here and this side here. This allows you to make a handle a lot stiffer, way stiffer in fact, and retain its rigidity so that the shot's the same every time.
It seems like it's balanced more that way too, because you're taking the weight out of this side where where the rest of your sights are going to be.
That's a small feature of it, yeah. But the engineering in this handle is just dramatic. It's a whole new bow, even from our original X-Force. But it's about the only thing that's the same is the large cam and the highly pre-stressed limbs. So, but this bow shoots 365 all day long.
Wow.
365 plus or minus 3 usually, and this thing really gets it. We've shot 15 elephants with this now, and this bow in 3 years.
Wow.
All one-shot kills, and that's incredible shooting elephants. People say, I don't need a bow that shoots elephants to shoot deer. I say, well, I think you do.
Yep.
Because with the big high-performance bow like this, you can shoot big mechanical broadheads. And that's the name of the game. We've been beat up a little bit. People want to say, what's the matter? Why don't you go to a new roller guard thing like everybody else? We don't like roller guards. They're energy hogs, and they slow the bow down. And actually, with the old-style cable guard like this, it's actually this one doesn't have the screw in it, but the screw goes in here with an Allen, so you can loosen this one, put your Allen wrench in both of them, and rotate the cable guard rod. It's actually a big asset in tuning the bow.
Absolutely.
We haven't figured out yet quite how to teach people to do it yet, but it's a big deal on tuning. We like this, and I think it pays big dividends, and no one has ever thought about tuning a bow by moving a cable guard.
Right.
You'll find on bows, every bow's got its own personality, when you pull them back. So it's and shoot them. So people run into easy problems to solve and hard problems to solve when tuning bows. Sometimes just a slight movement in this makes the pro go to really easy.
Absolutely.
And just only a few degrees, So a lot of features in this thing, but the new pocket system is a big deal. And the new pocket is also you got the taper limb here, and it also tapers in here, so the limb bends the full length.
Oh yeah, I see that. Yeah.
And
absolutely,
it's a dramatic difference. And it locks down here. You got to unlock the screw here before you can move the limb.
Okay.
And I just love it. We got all the P.S.E. accessories now. We really tuned up that line. And the accessories, I think, work really well. I've changed one of our old sights, what we call a long-range sight. And it's not on this bow here. I should have one on here, but you can sight the bow in with the computer, the Advantage program, and you can go out to 150 yards. And people say, well, you shouldn't shoot 150 yards. I said, why not? If you
can.
No, not for the first arrow, but I don't promote long-range shooting. But if you're in a tree stand, you shoot a bow, and he runs out and stands in the middle of the cornfield 125 yards away, and you don't have a sight setting for one, what are you going to do? You're still going to shoot because you already got an arrow in him. Why not slide the pin down for a long range? And this computer system program will sight you put the tape in your sight, it'll sight your bow in better than you can sight it in, for long range, so at least have a chance if you need a long shot on stuff. So
well, see, that's one of the things that we're going to incorporate into Archery Talk is the difference between Eastern bow hunting and Western bow hunting that you're familiar with.
Yeah.
And it's a totally different game.
In a way, it is a different game.
You see a lot of the Eastern bow hunters say, well, you guys shouldn't be shooting over 50 yards. Well, when you get out west, what's your average shot?
That or more.
You see, so we're going to change that up a little bit on the site and make sure we can bring in both ends of it and get everybody's opinions.
Yeah. And well, with the technology of bows and the technology of shooting form now, people are learning to shoot way better. A lot of guys can shoot accurately. I probably had 30 guys call me this year that are shooting this bow. They've shot antelope critters in that 75 to 150 yards, and some of the guys are actually shooting monopods.
No
Put
kidding.
the monopod them under here. They got that Primo stick, that you push the button, and they make a yoke for it that you pull it here. You can't support the bow because it doesn't shoot the same. So you sort of put it under here, and if you step back, you can lower it. You can lean forward, you can raise it. And of course, when the sight pin's setting dead still on an animal at 50 yards, you X them then.
Oh yeah.
Just squeeze the shot off properly.
Yeah.
It works. And this bow is is just amazing for doing that kind of system. There's a few guys doing it and doing it very successful.
Very cool.
Very, very successful. Jimmy Ryan's one of them. I don't know if you know who Jimmy Ryan
Yep.
is.
Yep.
He's a master at that. And
I'll be doing
I
it.
just spent a couple of weeks on Kodiak Island with Jimmy and his wife and Johnny Morris from Bass Pro, and we're brown bear hunting up there. And he'd shown me all this years ago, and I'd play with it a little bit, and then I'd go away from it. Then of course, he made me stand there at the camp and shoot his bow, using the monopod. I said, it's truly amazing, because what it does, when the sight pin sets dead still, it takes that anticipation out of your brain of making the shot.
Right.
So you can squeeze the shot off easily, and it's just dramatic in your accuracy potential out that 50 to 100 yards.
Makes you hold like Chance.
Exactly right. Well, Chance is a different animal.
Yes, he is.
He has no emotion in his body.
Yep.
You know that.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why those guys can shoot. Terry
right.
Ragsdale was the same way.
Yep.
Gail Cavlin in the old days, I don't even remember Gail, but he's the same way. And these guys that have that little bit of emotion, Levi Morgan, these guys, I mean, he's a Superman.
Absolutely.
And people are learning from these guys now. In the olden days, there was maybe 20 of us that shot really well. Now there's hundreds of people that shoot really well.
Scary well.
Yeah. So they're learning, and we're giving them the technology where the bows shoot the same every time. It's a big deal. We're already tickled. We've got a great bow line this year, and people are loving it, and we're way behind on delivery. And part of the problem, we've got a good bow line.
That's right.
So
It's in demand.
Nice problem to have, but we need to get it caught up. So.